Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Canal Algérie Midnight News, and these are our top stories. The Army General Saïd Chinguiha, Minister Delegate to the Minister of National Defense and Chief of Staff of the People's National Army, begins an official visit to Qatar this Sunday to participate in the 9th edition of DIMDEX 2026. The France-Algérie Association President Ségolène Royal unveils a 3-point plan to end definitely the crisis between Algiers and Paris. And the Sahrawi cause is more than ever at the heart of the concerns of human rights defenders, denouncing the plundering of Sahrawi wealth and resources by the Moroccan occupier. Welcome back. Army General Saïd Chinguiha, Minister Delegate to the Minister of National Defense, Chief of Staff of the PNA, begins this Sunday an official visit to Qatar to attend the 9th Doha exhibition and conference DIMDEX 2026 at the invitation of his Qatari counterpart, Lieutenant General Jassim bin Mohammed Al Manai. The Army General was received at Doha International Airport by Major General Hamad bin Ahmed Al Nuaimi, advisor to Qatar's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of State for Defense Affairs, along with Algeria's ambassador to Qatar, Salah Atiyah. During this visit, Army General Saïd Chinguiha will hold talks with senior Qatari officials on strengthening bilateral military cooperation. For the first time since her election as head of the France-Algérie Association, Ségolène Royal speaks publicly to unveil a 3-point plan to definitely end the crisis between Algiers and Paris. For the former socialist presidential candidate, the key is resolving the historic dispute. Details with Rania Bahri.
From the very first words of her inaugural address, the new president chose a clear path to place French-Algerian relations within a long and painful history, one that cannot be reduced to mere conflict. I believe that friendship between Algeria and France is not a random or wavering option. It's a human, moral, cultural, economic and restorative necessity. In short, an essential necessity.
En un mot, une nécessité essentielle.
The speech confronts history directly, rejecting denial or provocation. Ségolène Royal chooses a path of clear recognition instead. Her words avoid political posturing and strategic calculation. Historical memory must not be exploited politically. It withstands falsification and imposed silences. It should never need to justify itself. She then tackles the idea of memory round, a common phrase in French debates.
Je voudrais vous dire que je n'accepte pas le concept de...
I reject the idea of memory round because it silences people hurt by history. Remembering colonial violence isn't self-interest. It's the right to have proven facts recognized. Some crimes of colonization have not been acknowledged or repaired, and France must address them. It is a rare statement that shifts responsibility, not the victims, but those who refuse to face history. The president of the France-Algeria Foundation calls for returning the archives as a first step toward reparation. The first reparation and the first apology should be the return of cultural property and archives. Memory isn't lifelong burden or inherited guilt, but a shared foundation on which a common future can be built. The president of the France-Algeria Foundation calls for a new approach. Memory should no longer belong only to the past, but guide concrete action. She highlights the French nuclear tests in the Sahara as an issue of truth and responsibility, and also an opportunity for cooperation.
This
is an opportunity to develop the energy and environmental sectors by using top experts in nuclear cleanup, turning remediation into jobs expertise, and economic growth that benefits everyone.
Des productions du...
Memory and the economy no longer opposed to each other, as Ségolène Royal calls for a renewed image of Algeria in France.
La relation entre l'Algérie et la France.
I'm certain Algeria and France can build a creative, dynamic, and cooperative relationship driven by passionate generations and innovative companies. This first act doesn't resolve all conflicts, but establishes a framework for open dialogue, acknowledging the past and embracing the future.
The National Statistics Office says annual inflation is to 1.5% at the end of November 2025, down from 1.7% in October, marking a clear slowdown in price growth. The figure reflects changes in the Consumer Price Index between December 2024 and November 2025 compared with the same period a year earlier. Prices for fresh agricultural produce fell by 1.3%, while processed food prices remained broadly stable. The Sahrawi cause is more than ever at the heart of the concerns of the human rights defenders. In Spain, several voices have been raised to denounce the plundering of Sahrawi wealth and resources by the Moroccan occupier, calling for the application of respect of decisions of the European Court of Justice. Rania Bahri.
Europe continues to exploit Western Sahara's resources with Morocco, despite court rulings questioning its legality, drawing strong criticism from the Sahrawi people and human rights groups. The legal issues since 2016 stem from a dispute between European Union and the Polisario Front, the Sahrawi people's representative. Yet the European Union continues economic deals with Morocco, violating European Union court rulings. During solidarity events in northern Spain, Sahrawi advisor Ubi Boushra el-Bashir said these agreements hurt peace efforts and enable Morocco to fund its occupation through phosphate and fishing revenues. He warned that such deals prolong the conflict and undermine fair settlement for the Sahrawi people. You are certainly aware that after a prolonged period, especially between 2012 and 2016, the Polisario Front launched a process to challenge the economic agreements signed between Morocco and the European Union, which include Western Sahara without the consent of its people. The serious exploitation of Sahrawi resources has led to calls for stronger diplomacy to stop these products from reaching European markets.
In Gaza, deadly strikes continue despite the start of the second phase of the ceasefire agreement. Air raids have intensified, driving up the death toll, with the heaviest impact on the most vulnerable, including children and elderly, struggling to survive in dire conditions worsened by severe weather and bitter cold. Well, that was it for tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. Stay tuned on Canal Algérie. Bye for now.